I was recently listening to a podcast about how much time the average American spends online now. And one of the guests said, "You are where you spend your time." And it stuck with me really hard because I've been thinking about it ever since because of the November Fit by Bit challenge. So if you're in Fit by Bit, which I know some of you listening are, you would know that our November challenge was No Scroll November, and I loved it. And so, because I loved it, I am still nerding out over why it worked so well for me and the other members. So, I've been listening to everything I can get my hands on about us scrolling and our habits and our attention and all of it. But so that quote actually reminded me about a blog that I did years ago about the network effect of obesity. And at this point, it's older research. I think it was from '07. But honestly, looking at where we've become or where we've gotten to as a country and now seeing the weight loss drug craze, my bet is that the research still holds true. And here's in a nutshell what it found, that the people that you spend the most time with have an impact on your weight, put plainly. So if a close friend becomes obese, your risk of becoming obese goes up 57%. And if it's a sibling, your risk goes up 40%. And if it's your spouse, 37%. And it's not because they're influencing you on purpose. It's not because you don't have willpower or you're weak minded or anything. Nobody's doing anything wrong. But it's because, as humans, us being social creatures, we absorb the norms around us, the behaviors, the expectation, and what feels normal and acceptable in that group. We start to adapt. It kind of just feels like this is just how we do things now. And so, if you are spending most of your time online, like that podcast was saying, you start picking up the mannerisms and the humor and the slang and habits and even some worldviews of the people that you are constantly scrolling past or interacting with. Your brain is like, oh, so this is kind of how this is done. This is what's normal here. And that same feeling that happens in real life. That if you spend a lot of your time around people who prioritize moving their bodies, you are more likely to move yours. On the flip side, if you spend your time around people who never exercise, that probably will start to become your new normal. Same thing with nutritious foods or not nutritious foods. The activities that you choose when you're being social do they involve moving your body or eating good food, or are they always going out to eat at some restaurant that you know is not the best for you, but that's just the new norm? Again, not saying that you can't have that stuff in moderation, but you are where you spend your time, like that podcast guest was saying. And this is not about judging anyone or their lifestyle. It is simply about awareness, because it is understanding why change feels so hard when you are doing it in isolation. If you are the only one in your friend group who is trying to prioritize her health, it's going to feel really challenging because everyone around you is doing something different. You are swimming against the current, so to speak. And it's why I always have my group programs like Fitter Faster and my Fit by Bit membership, is because you get to step into a space where the norm is showing up for yourself and taking care of yourself, taking those small steps, celebrating those wins, and actually caring about how you feel in the day to day. You are surrounded by people in those environments who are working on the same things that you're working on, albeit they have different health journeys, but everyone has similar end goals in mind. And that environment, having that at your disposal when you are trying to get different results than your friend group, that environment matters way more than most people realize. And so, on that note, I have to mention that I do have my Fitter Faster program. 8-week program starts January 5th. So there's a link in the show notes if you are interested in getting on the wait list to hear about when it opens. But to sum up this network effect of obesity that is very real, know that you do not have to overhaul your life. You do not have to ditch your friends or your siblings or get a divorce. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is bring some awareness to the spaces where you spend the most time, because they are shaping you whether you notice it or not. That is today's daily bit of fit. Take it and run or walk or stretch. Just go move. That's it for today's daily bit of fit. I'm Coach Mack from Running with Bacon, reminding you that small steps really do add up. Make sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss a bit. And if today's episode hit home, send it to a friend who might need it too. And if you ever want a quick pep talk tailored just for you, DM me on Instagram because I'm always happy to send some encouragement your way. You can find more support and my health coaching resources at runningwithbacon.com or come hang with me on Instagram for some healthy fun. Until next time, keep taking those small steps because you don't need a perfect plan, just a consistent one.